A hot and hostile show from the two American vice presidential candidates as they faced each other for the first and only time. But where Obama and Romney remained courteous in their debate, here it was all about making a point, accusing each other of lies, disinformation and even ignorance. They showed that there's no love lost between Republican and Democrat. More now on the debate with California State Professor Paul Sheldon Foote. Professor Foote, welcome to the show. So what impressions did the debate leave you with? Certainly a marked notch up in terms of rhetoric over the presidential contest.
After the first debate between Obama and Romney, a political cartoonist drew a picture of two Pinocchios fighting each other with their noses. This is no different. These men went out of their way to lie throughout. It's interesting how stupid the American voters are not to recognize it. You might be interested to note also that there's only one thing they agreed on in the entire debates, and that was Russia. Even though they weren't asked about Russia on the occasions of Iran and Syria, they said that a reset of relations with Russia is not working. And they blamed Russia for using the United Nations to prevent more sanctions on Iran. Apparently, they don't understand the purpose of the United Nations. It was one lie after another. It was amazing that on Libya, for example, all they could talk about was the fact that some al-Qaeda people had killed the American ambassador. They didn't mention that al-Qaeda people have gone to Syria. They didn't mention that Osama bin Laden was the head of al-Qaeda, where the vice president proudly admitted that they had killed him. Neither side would attack the other on things in which they were vulnerable. In the first debate with the president and Romney, there was discussion of the Simpson-Bowles Deficit Reduction Commission. And Ryan was attacked at that point about having been a member but not supporting it. Well, if you read the original proposal, you see that the two co-chairperson had said we should close 1/3 of America's overseas military bases. And yet neither candidate was willing to make any political fodder out of that.
Number two.
Yeah, but why did it get so hostile? Are the differences between the two sides really so great?
Well, the differences are not great, and that's why you have to pick these tiny little issues, such as for example, Ryan said that, why is it that the American ambassador in France is protected by Marines but not in Libya? And that's something that the most casual voter in America can understand. It's all these petty little things that they hope will work. For example, Biden said correctly that Ryan had voted to put the Iraqi and Afghanistan wars on the credit card, helping to cause the deficit. He was actually right. He was right about that. He didn't bother to say the Democrats voted for it too. He tried to pose as a political conservative by saying, when we leave Afghanistan, he'll save American taxpayers $800 billion.
And look at what this administration.
If they had real cuts, we could save a lot more than that, as the Simpson-Bowles Commission had suggested. Ryan, of course, treated that as a political football by saying, yeah, they want to make the American Navy smaller than it was before World War I, and weakness is not the way to peace. Only strength is the way to peace.
Yeah, Paul, Ryan in general seemed to be a fan of military forays, hinting at a prolonged stay in Afghanistan, action against Iran, even Syria. What do you make of that?
Oh, yes. He's one of these ones who says that the only way to have peace is by total world domination, by total military power. And he, at the same time, is claiming that he's a fiscal conservative and is going to save the country from budget deficits. It's a total lie. We are wasting vast amounts of money on endless wars. We are supporting corrupt leaders in many countries. We are the cause of many problems around the world, and yet he had the gall to say that Iran was the world's leading supporter of terrorism, for example. He had a golden opportunity to attack Obama. Last month, Obama's administration took the Iranian MEK terrorists, the Rajavi cult or Pol Pot of Iran terrorists, off their terrorist list. He could have attacked that. He did not. In fact, America and Saudi Arabia fund more terrorist organizations in the region than anybody else. It's time for them to quit lying and start being honest with the American voters and with the world.
All right. Professor Paul Sheldon-Foote from the California State University, thank you very much indeed for sharing your views with us.